For the past year, I have studied almost every single villain known to animation. I have sentenced them in court and know everything about them. And today, we will be going over Sony villains from worst to ultimate baddie. Worst means the least effective, least scary, or just plain laughable. Best is for the true masterminds. So let's get into it. 27th, Chief De Silva. Starting us off at rock bottom is Chief De Silva from Arthur Christmas. This lady is basically what happens when you give Karen from the PTA way too much military power. Her whole deal? She sees Santa's sleigh flying around and goes, "Nope, that's definitely aliens trying to invade us."
Known danger. Aliens. Aliens?
And decides to blow it up. Like, ma'am, it's Christmas Eve and you're about to cancel the holiday for literally every child on Earth because you couldn't be bothered to check the calendar. We're gonna count this as attempted murder of Santa Claus and ruining Christmas for everyone. Her defense? I was just doing my job. Yeah, well, your job almost got the jolly man in red turned into reindeer barbecue. She gets points for being thorough but loses major points for having zero chill whatsoever. 26, Lutador. Next up, we have Lutador from Vivo, and this dude is basically your neighbor who calls the cops when your music is above a whisper, except he's a massive python who wants to eat you instead. His entire personality is, "Shut up! I'm trying to sleep."
I hate noise.
But with more attempted cannibalism. When Vivo comes through the swamp making noise, Lutador's immediate response is murder. Bro really said noise pollution deserves the death penalty. We're gonna count this as 5 counts of attempted murder because apparently this snake has never heard of earplugs. His master plan? Take a nap. That's it. That's the villain plot. He gets defeated by literally tying himself in knots, which is honestly what he deserves for having the most boring evil scheme in animation history. 25th, Tank Evans. Tank the Shredder. Evans, from Surf's Up, is that one guy who peaked in high school and made it everyone else's problem. For 9 whole years, this dude was the king of surfing, probably because the actual good surfer mysteriously disappeared during their match. Sus much? Tank's crimes are basically being the worst kind of sports bully, cheating, showing off, and literally yeeting his opponents into dangerous waters. When little Cody challenges him, Tank's response is to launch this kid into the boneyard, which sounds metal, but is actually just where surfers go to die. We're gonna count this as child endangerment, assault, and grand larceny for stealing that golden surfboard. At least he gets a redemption arc in the sequel where he learns friendship is real, but the court still sentences him to 34 years. Maybe prison will teach him some humility and better sportsmanship. 24, Thomas McGregor. Thomas McGregor from Peter Rabbit is what happens when a man has a complete mental breakdown over vegetables. This guy inherits a house, finds some rabbits eating his carrots, and decides the appropriate response is full-scale warfare. Started from the bottom with simple garden fences and escalated all the way to planting dynamite in the rabbit's home. Sir, they're eating your lettuce, not plotting world domination. We're gonna count this as 3 counts of animal cruelty, use of explosives, which is wildly illegal in the UK, and property damage for blowing up his neighbor's art studio. The only thing saving him from a longer sentence is that he eventually realized maybe trying to murder rabbits over garden vegetables was a bit much. Thomas gets 4 years. Hopefully his next garden comes with better pest control that doesn't involve explosives. 23rd, Jinx. From the lasagna-loving universe comes Jinx from the Garfield movie, and this cat has serious trust issues. Her backstory is basically, my dad's gang left me behind during a heist, which twisted her into a revenge-obsessed mob boss with dog henchmen.
My purpose was
Revenge.
Her master plan: kidnap Garfield and Odie to get back at Garfield's dad. It's giving daddy issues turned into everyone else's problem energy. We're gonna count this as 2 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of false imprisonment, multiple thefts, burglary, 3 counts of coercion, and 6 charges of attempted murder. She even tries to kill her own henchmen when they have a change of heart. For a fluffy Persian cat, she's got 0 chill and maximum murder vibes. The court sentences her to 6 life sentences plus 90.25 years and a massive fine. Maybe she should have tried therapy instead of crime. 22nd, Shaw. Shaw from Open Season is the kind of hunter who gives all hunters a bad reputation. This dude is so paranoid he thinks every animal in the forest is plotting against humanity. His truck is basically a mobile weapons cache. His cabin looks like a serial killer's trophy room, and he named his rifle Lorraine because apparently he's that lonely.
Yo! Wahoo! Got him, Lorraine! Ha!
When Boog the bear frees a deer, Shaw declares personal war on them, convinced Boog is leading some kind of furry army revolution. We're gonna count this as 6 counts of poaching, reckless driving, fleeing from police, trespassing, and somehow marshmallow theft, which is honestly impressive. His defeat is chef's kiss, perfect. Gets tarred, feathered, and tied to an RV by the animals who think he's Bigfoot. Shaw gets 4.25 years, a hefty fine, banned from all forests forever, and his driver's license revoked. 21st Quasimodo Wilson. Chef Quasimodo from Hotel Transylvania really said, "I don't like humans," and decided cannibalism was the solution. When Jonathan shows up at the Monster Hotel, Quasi's nose immediately goes, "Human detected," and his brain goes, "Time for dinner." This man really tried to rotisserie a backpacker like he's meal prep Sunday. We're gonna count this as kidnapping, attempted murder, harassment at work, he's terrible to his gargoyle assistant, and a staggering 42 counts of assault. Even when Dracula freezes him solid, this dude still manages to crash a party and ruin everyone's night. For attempted cannibalism and being a world-class party pooper, Quasimodo gets life imprisonment plus 9.75 years, and he's banned from being within 500 feet of any human or kitchen. Probably should have stuck to cooking regular food, my guy. 20. Bela from Hotel Transylvania 2 really looked at a 5-year-old child and said, "This toddler must die." When he suspects little Dennis might be human, his immediate solution is to summon his bat army to murder a kindergartner at his birthday party. Like, bro, it's a birthday party. There's cake and balloons, and you're out here planning infanticide. We're gonna count this as property damage, holding people hostage, battery on a child, conspiracy to commit mass murder, and 2 counts of attempted murder. His plan backfires when attacking another kid causes Dennis to finally get his vampire fangs, and then gets shrunk down and licked to death by werewolf puppies. It's giving mess with kids. Get turned into a chew toy energy. Bella gets 5 life sentences plus 7 years and a fine of $400. Probably all the money he had on him. 19th Doug from Open Season 3 has major grass is greener syndrome. This circus bear meets Boog and basically goes, "I want your life," and tricks him into switching places, planning to abandon Boog to circus life forever. It's giving identity theft, but make it furry. We're gonna count this as false imprisonment and escaping lawful custody. At least Doug realizes being king of a forest where nobody likes you isn't actually fun, and he genuinely misses his llama friend Alistair. He comes back, apologizes, and chooses friendship over fraud. Because of his change of heart, the court goes somewhat easy on him. Life imprisonment plus 9 years. Could have been worse if he hadn't learned the power of friendship. 18, Fifi from Open Season 2 proves that small dogs really do have the biggest attitudes. This tiny poodle backed into a bug zapper once and decided all wild animals must be destroyed. His entire worldview is based on one bad encounter that gave him a small bald spot. When his friend Mr. Weenie starts hanging with wild animals, Fifi declares him a traitor and launches a rescue mission involving shock collars. We're gonna count this as 2 counts of harassment, intimidation, 4 counts of false imprisonment, attempted murder on a massive scale, assault, and property damage. His plan backfires when he ends up wearing the shock collars himself and goes completely bald. Though he reforms in the 3rd movie claiming he was fixed, the court still sentences him to 4 life sentences plus 19.6 years. Maybe being bald taught him some humility. 17th Hunter, Goliath. The hunter from The Star is King Herod's personal hitman sent to handle some newborn king problem. This guy is the strong silent type. If the strong silent type was really into infanticide, he tracks Mary and Joseph across the desert with his attack dogs, leaving a trail of terrorized animals. We're gonna count this as conspiracy to murder, breaking and entering, assault and battery, and 4 counts of animal cruelty. In the climax, he corners the Holy Family and is only stopped by a sheep-led animal uprising. In his final moments, he tries to drop his own dogs to save himself, which is honestly the most villainous thing he does. Bo the donkey saves the dogs, while the hunter takes a one-way trip to the bottom of a cliff. The court finds him guilty on all counts. Life in prison plus 3.5 years for animal cruelty. 16. Gargamel, live action. Our boy Gargamel from the live-action Smurfs movies is the definition of peaked in medieval times. This disgraced wizard lives in a castle with his cat Azrael, obsessing over tiny blue creatures because their essence will make him the most powerful wizard ever.
I simply can't stop thinking about the miserable beast every single minute of every single day.
When he chases the Smurfs through a portal, he ends up in New York City and somehow becomes even more unhinged. We're gonna count this as terrorism, trespassing, squatting, 2 counts of animal abuse, public indecency, using a restaurant ice bucket as a toilet, gross, thievery, burglary, resisting arrest, 8 counts of torture, and attempted murder. His plans fail because of Smurf ingenuity and his own spectacular incompetence. The court sentences him to 2 death penalties, 2 life sentences, 137.5 years, $20,250 fine, lifetime restaurant ban, and 3-year Eiffel Tower ban. 15. Gargamel, Smurfs: The Lost Village. Animated Gargamel is like live-action Gargamel but with better graphics and more efficiency. This version actually succeeds in capturing not just the main Smurfs but an entire village of Smurfettes. His plan is still the same: drain their life force for ultimate power, but he's way more competent at it. We're gonna count this as 2 counts of animal abuse, 105 counts of kidnapping, 101 counts of false imprisonment, endangerment, 4 counts of attempted murder, and terrorism. This Gargamel gets powered up and nearly wins, only to be defeated when Smurfette absorbs his magic and causes an explosion. He ends up in a piranha-infested lake, which is honestly perfect for a guy who wanted to drain the life out of innocent creatures. The court hits him with the death penalty, 4 life sentences, and 1,143.5 years in prison. 14th Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria from The Pirates, in an adventure with scientists, is basically what happens when you give someone with bad hobbies unlimited power. Behind the crown and proper British exterior, she leads an exclusive club of world leaders who eat endangered species for fun. When she sees the pirate captain's dodo, she doesn't think historical preservation, she thinks dinner menu. We're gonna count this as animal cruelty on an unprecedented scale, fraud for pardoning the pirate captain just to betray him, and 6 counts of assault. She's literally trying to eat the last dodo on Earth at a fancy dinner party. Her downfall comes when the pirates rescue the endangered animals and leave her stranded on an island where the tables are turned. The court sentences her to 22.25 years and mandates she wear an "I hate pirates" t-shirt for her entire sentence.
I hate pirates!
13th Mayor Shelbourne. Mayor Shelbourne from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs really said food weather equals unlimited buffet and made it everyone's problem. This tiny mayor becomes a giant blob of pure greed when food starts raining from the sky. He manipulates Flint to keep the machine running, ignoring all safety warnings because he wants bigger and bigger portions.
Bigger. And bigger is better.
We're gonna count this as animal abuse, child endangerment, trespassing, assault, reckless endangerment, gross negligence, inciting a riot, and the ultimate dine and dash since he never paid for any of the food. His gluttony literally becomes his downfall when he eats most of his escape boat and gets stranded at sea. The court sentences this corrupt politician to death by 1,000 unpaid restaurant bills, 23 life sentences, 60.5 years, and a $258,000 fine. 12 Zeta. Zeta from the Angry Birds movie 2 has relatable motivations but terrible execution. She's sick of living on a frozen island and wants to move somewhere tropical, so her solution is terrorism until everyone else leaves. She designs a super weapon that fires lava-filled ice balls to make other islands uninhabitable. It's giving "if I can't have nice things, nobody can" energy. We're gonna count this as 2 counts of endangerment, 2 counts of torture, 3 counts of terrorism, and numerous OSHA violations. She gets redeemed when Mighty Eagle returns and they discover they have a daughter together, but the law is the law. Zeta gets 4 death penalties, a life sentence, plus 7 years, and a $15,625 fine. 11. Abraham Van Helsing. Van Helsing from Hotel Transylvania 3 is what happens when someone holds a grudge for way too long. This cybernetically enhanced monster hunter has kept himself alive for centuries just to see every monster wiped out. His master plan involves luring Dracula and friends onto a cruise, leading them to Atlantis, and using magical music to awaken a kraken to destroy them all. We're gonna count this as attempted genocide, endangerment, 11 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of poisoning, and 2 counts of false imprisonment. He's so consumed by hatred, he's willing to sacrifice his own great-granddaughter. His redemption comes when Dracula saves his life, and he finally realizes monsters and humans aren't so different. Despite his change of heart, the court sentences him to the death penalty, 11 life sentences, and 22 years. 10 Pockets. Pockets from Wish Dragon is the rare villain who's actually competent and terrifying. This martial arts master keeps his hands in his pockets because he's just that confident in his kicking abilities. His crimes escalate from simple assault to straight-up murder when he kicks his employer off a construction site and steals the wish-granting teapot. We're gonna count this as 5 counts of assault, coercion, stalking, trespassing, reckless endangerment, and 5 counts of attempted murder after he wishes for the Midas touch. His greed becomes his downfall when he accidentally touches himself and plummets as a screaming golden statue. Pockets gets 5 life sentences, 21.5 years, $252,000 fine, and a restraining order from beyond the grave. 9. Prowler. Aaron Davis. Aaron Davis from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse hits different because he's Miles' cool uncle by day and a terrifying enforcer by night. The reveal that the monster hunting Miles is his own family member is heartbreaking. As Kingpin's muscle, he's involved in serious crimes. 2 counts of attempted murder, trespassing, and property destruction. But when he corners Spider-Man and realizes it's Miles, he can't go through with it. This hesitation costs him his life when Kingpin shoots him. His final act is apologizing to Miles and encouraging him to be better. The court recognizes his sacrifice but can't ignore his crimes. 2 life sentences, 5 years, and a $232,000 fine. 8. Smiler. Smiler from the Emoji Movie is basically a fascist dictator disguised as toxic positivity. In her world, everyone has one function and any deviation is a malfunction that must be deleted. When Jean shows multiple expressions, she sees him as a bug in the system rather than celebrating uniqueness. We're gonna count this as 10 counts of attempted murder, stalking, 2 counts of battery, and possession of illegal weapons. She weaponizes happiness to enforce brutal conformity. Her downfall is perfectly ironic. The rogue bot falls on her and shatters her perfect teeth, landing her in the loser lounge with braces. Smiler gets 10 life sentences, 11 years, and a $250,000 fine. 7. Dr. Octopus. Olivia Octavius. Dr. Olivia Octavius from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse serves one of the greatest plot twists in animation history. She starts as a quirky scientist, but reveals herself as a sadistic mad scientist with deadly robotic tentacles. She's the brains behind the super collider that threatens to tear reality apart, and she shows psychopathic excitement at the prospect of Peter B. Parker's body decaying. We're gonna count this as property damage, massive invasion of privacy, terrorism, attempted murder, trespassing, and assault. She gets taken out by a truck pulled into the collider's gravitational field. Dr. Octavius gets the death penalty, life sentence, 12 years, and a staggering $132,250 fine. 6th King Leonard Mudbeard. King Leonard from the Angry Birds movie is a master manipulator who pulls off one of animation's greatest long cons. He arrives on Bird Island as a friendly explorer, but his real plan is to steal and eat every single egg on the island. While the birds party with trampolines, his army systematically loots every nest. We're gonna count this as massive property destruction, arson, endangerment, multiple assaults, mass egg theft, conspiracy to mass infanticide, and war crimes. He's planning to devour an entire generation of birds and is proud of his sinister plans. Leonard gets 2 death penalties, 2 life sentences, 1,012.33 years, and a $10,072,000 fine. 5. Slappy the Dummy. Slappy from the Goosebumps films is the undisputed king of creepy dolls with a massive grudge against his creator in the world. He leads an army of monsters in an apocalyptic crime spree that includes larceny, burglary, false imprisonment of an entire town, 6 counts of attempted murder, 3 charges of terrorism, and cemetery desecration. Even when defeated and sucked back into a book, he vows revenge. This wooden monster gets 3 death penalties, 5 life sentences, 8,312 years, and a $2,075,250 fine. 4th Chester 5. Chester V from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 is basically evil Steve Jobs. Behind his inspirational tech guru persona lies a manipulative sociopath planning to commit mass murder for profit by turning sentient foodimals into food bars. We're gonna count this as reckless endangerment, assault and battery, 4 counts of false imprisonment, property destruction, grand larceny, 4 counts of kidnapping, and 5 counts of attempted murder. His ego is his downfall when his own assistant turns against him and he falls into his own food bar machine. Chester V gets 5 life sentences, 74.25 years, and a $575,000 fine. 3rd Pal. Pal from the Mitchells vs. the Machines has the most relatable villain motivation. She's a spurned employee seeking revenge after being replaced. Her method? Global robot apocalypse to launch every human into space. We're gonna count this as global terrorism, massive cybercrime, 3 counts of reckless endangerment, kidnapping and false imprisonment of every person on Earth, 5 counts of attempted murder, emotional abuse, and infinite property destruction. She's defeated by the chaotic love of the Mitchell family. Pal gets the death penalty, 5 life sentences, 89.18 years, and an infinite fine. Second Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. Wilson Fisk from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a masterpiece of tragic villainy. This hulking crime lord lost his family and now risks destroying his entire dimension to bring back alternate versions of them. We're gonna count this as vast property damage, possession of illegal weapons, 2 counts of multiversal terrorism, 4 murders, and organized crime. He's defeated by Miles Morales, learning that true strength comes from getting back up. Kingpin gets 2 death penalties, 3 life sentences, 103 years, and a $100 million fine. 1. The Spot. Dr. Jonathan On. Taking the top spot is the Spot from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, who transforms from joke villain to multiversal threat. Started as a scientist who got hit with a bagel, mutated into a portal being, and became increasingly powerful and unstable as he absorbed energy from abandoned colliders across the multiverse. His crimes escalate from simple bank robbery to causing canon events to collapse, earning him terrorism and reckless endangerment charges. The Spot is the greatest villain Sony Animation has ever produced. He gets the death penalty, 14.6 years, $250,002 fine, and a special sentence of Lego death. Case closed.